Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome for the first time. So today we're going to be doing a span set combo because I was thinking about ways that we can use the span set that are a little bit different, a little more unique, and this is what I came up with. It's kind of a fun arabesque-y, well, you guys will see, but something I really liked about this combo is that it is adaptable to go on a single point or a double point hoop. I'm doing it on a single point hoop, but you could absolutely adapt it fairly simply to work onto a double point hoop. And I also like that it's not, I won't say a rest combo, because you are obviously using your body and your muscles, but it is a little bit more chill. It's not the most like strengthy pull-up-y thing. It's a little bit more like, you know, if you needed a break in the middle of some choreography, if you need something a little bit simpler to do when you're a little tired, this would be a good option. So I'll stop chattering on now, and here's the combo. Okay, in this combo, I'm going to be using the span set similar to the way I would use a double pointed hoop with two span sets, but in this case, I'm only using one span set. I'm just holding one side in each hand so that I can use it like a double pointed hoop. We're going to move through a couple of positions to get started and get up onto the span set. I'm doing a flying Russian, I'm doing this hooked knee layback, and then I'm just going to walk my leg in and come into an arabesque with an elbow hold thrown in. Don't worry, by the way, I'm going to break this all down in a lot more detail in just a minute. Then we're going to put our whole body in between the two span sets and move into the meat of this combo with some inversions, a few little splitty moments. It's really fun. My advice to you for this one would be take your time, let it be slow, even if you feel like you're moving really slowly. If you film yourself, which I always strongly advise anytime you're training, so helpful for seeing what you're doing with your body in the air. If you film yourself and look back, you're going to be surprised at how quickly you're actually moving. This is one that's a little bit deceptive because you're going to feel slow and graceful and then realize that you are just blazing through so quickly. So take your time, make nice, long, beautiful lines. Don't worry about being too slow. You can always speed it up later after you've tried this and are really comfortable with the movement. So now that we've had a little peek at it, let's break it down. Obviously, the first thing I need to do is get up to the top bar so I can start using that span set for all that delicious span set-y goodness. And I'm going to do that today by doing a flying Russian. I'm putting one hand on each side of my span set. I'm using a nylon loop span set. Mine is 2 meters long. The longer your span set, the less painful this combo is going to be. If you have a shorter span set, it's just going to squeeze you a little harder. I'm leaning back, I'm bringing my knee between my arms, I'm lifting up my hips, I'm arching back, looking back with my head, and coming into a split. Think about pulling your hips up as close to your wrist as possible. Because your hands are up there on the span set and therefore a little higher than they would be if they were on the top of the hoop like we normally do this move, the split's going to be a little bit more on a diagonal and a little bit less parallel to the ground. Next, I'm going to hook my knee between the two sides of the span set and lean out. I'm reaching out with my arm. This is the part where my body is going to come a little bit more parallel to the ground. And I'm just thinking nice and long movement here. I should feel quite locked in with that top knee hooked. Next, I'm going to reach up as high as I can with my free arm, grab on, scoot my other hand up, straighten my knee that is hooked, and push my weight up onto the top of the hoop, bringing the span sets close to the top of my thigh. I'm also going to hook one elbow onto one side of the span set. It should be the side that is in front of you or touching the inside of your leg. I can bring up my bottom leg because there's no more weight on it, and I can bend both my legs into this nice little diamond shape. I really like this plate shape. I've been using it a lot in lots of transitions lately, and I think it's really pretty. Then I'm going to turn my shoulders to face the span sets, re-grab with both hands, slide the span set back down towards my knee so I have space to bring my second leg through, and I'm coming with my whole body between the span sets. I'm going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle my way forward until I'm far enough forward to have space to open both my legs into a straddle, invert, leaning backwards, and I'm going to bend my knees and hook the outsides of my ankles. I'm in that diamond position with my legs again. And my arms are free to reach down and grab the bottom of the hoop. This is kind of like a handstand, but I'm actually pushing the hoop a little bit behind me. Now I'm going to hook one foot again around the back of the span set and straighten that leg so that my leg is really wrapped into the span set. and I'm going to straighten my opposite leg. I'm keeping my arms nice and straight, and I'm arching my back, lifting my head back slightly. And I'm going to rotate that straight leg around to come behind me. I'm in an arabesque position again. By the way, if you're hearing the word arabesque and you're not quite sure what that is, I did a video explaining dance terms that we use in aerial, including arabesque and other dance terms. And so you might want to check that video out on my channel. It'll give you a clue if there's any terms you come across that you don't know that are from the dance world. From there, I'm finally able to lift up my hoop right in front of my stomach. I'm putting my hoop nice and parallel to the ground. I think that's really cute because it's kind of like a flying saucer. The leg behind you can either stay straight or bend and point your toes towards your head. Those are both cute and nice options for this move. I also like to flex my hands and lift my fingers away from the hoop, just to show that I am not using the hoop to support my weight at all. It just adds a little bit of extra flair and uniqueness to this move. Take your time and show off that position because it's really pretty, but once I'm ready, I'm going to bring that hoop back down. Again, I'm straightening my arms, I'm sliding them down to the bottom of the hoop, and I'm straightening that back leg into that nice arabesque position. Really stretched, really dramatic, really long. This is a really fun place to be. Next, we're going to go back into that inverted straddle shape, very similar to a star on the bar, except we're a star on the span set here. I'm going to bring that back leg in, bend my toes to briefly touch together, and then open up my two legs, grabbing the span set between my legs and bringing my body up. You can see here how I'm bringing my legs in front of me and using their weight to help me get my body into the position it needs to be. And finally, I'm going to slide down, hooking both knees between the span sets, and place both my hands on either side of my knees on the outside. Then I can bring my legs off. I'm coming into a nice piked position. I'm like having my legs separated here just to make it a little bit more visually interesting, but you could have your legs together if you want. And finally, I'm going to rehook my legs onto the top bar and come out to finish in my hawk's position. And that's it. Let's take a look at this whole thing once again, because I know I just threw a lot of information at you, and I'm going to give you a few more pro tips to help with this whole combo. Now, I don't say this very often, but this is one of the rare combos where your equipment is going to affect what you're doing, only because the length of your span set will determine how much it squeezes you, how much it squishes you, how much space and freedom of movement you have up there. So a longer span set is going to be easier. It is possible with a shorter span set, but the longer your span set, the easier this is going to be. While you're up here on the span set, remember that it is going to move the hoop when you move your body. So be aware. You can see here the hoop is moving a little bit on its own. It got away from my body there, and then I brought it back with my hands. So just be aware of where the hoop is. Try to keep that in your mind as you're moving up here on the span set, because it will move on its own. In this whole sequence, try to have the span set and where it joins to the hoop close to your tailbone. I'm almost too low in this video. In fact, it's a little bit low on my bum. If I was a little bit higher to my tailbone, that would be a little easier and a little more correct. And I just want to finish by looking at this dismount into hawks, because when you take out your second foot, the span set is going to squish it and try to grab it. You might have to fight a little bit to get your foot out from being caught between the two sides of the span sets, and it might give you a little bounce, so just be prepared for that. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this combo. I really enjoyed making it, and I think I'm going to actually use it in some of my acts, maybe for Christmas circuses this year, because it's really pretty. It's really like a fun little combo. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn from more tutorials or have some other choreography or combos or flows to throw into your training, then please do subscribe and also give a big thumbs up to this video. That's super helpful. And also, if you're looking for more like kind of shorter on-the-fly tutorials, I've been doing some tutorials on my Instagram as well. There's a link to it just below this video, so check out my Instagram, I guess. And I think that's all of my social media things I'm supposed to do at the end of the video, so I'll leave it there, and I will see you guys next time.